We've all heard the old wives' tales when it comes to skincare, and maybe even some of us have tried a few. Not this guy, but maybe some other. But some of these tales are just not true. So here to set the record straight is board-certified dermatologist and co-host of The Doctors, Dr. Sonia Batra. Welcome, Dr.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being here.
I appreciate it.
Allie, Orly have to get to the bottom of some of these myths as well.
Yes.
Mythbusters happening right here, right now. Let's just dive right in because,
Sure.
you know, like I think a lot of these people at home will relate to. The first one is having a little bit of toothpaste to help with your pimple, and you got to tell us, true or not true?
Well, actually, I'd love to quiz you guys. Are you okay if I put you on
please.
the spot? Okay, so Orly, what do you think?
I mean, I hope yes, because I do it. So just please tell me I'm toothpasting my face for no reason.
I'm going to say true.
You're going to say true?
Yeah.
Toothpaste for pimples? What do you think, Debbie?
I've thought it was true my whole life. As a matter of fact, I've been doing it. I don't know if you can get that shiner, but I have been doing it for the last week, as I always do when I get a pimple. I will tell you this, on the other end of it, I get a lot of dry skin. So I feel like it's working, but then maybe doing some detriment too.
Okay.
I've seen
And
people
then
do this, and I was
round it
always
out.
suspicious. I was always like, there's something up. If it was just as easy as toothpaste on your pimple, then they'd be selling toothpaste as pimple cream.
Well, so that's the ding, ding, ding. So basically, it is false. This is an old wives' tale, and it does work to some degree. And so the reason is because, to your point, it dries out those pimples.
And they're gone in the morning.
Well, not necessarily. So they do. Often toothpastes have alcohol. They have hydrogen peroxide. And years ago, they even had something called triclosan, which is kind of where this myth about toothpaste for pimples arose, because it was an antibacterial, and it actually killed the bacteria that causes pimples. But we know toothpaste is not formulated for your skin, so many of those ingredients can be way too drying. So if you put it on the pimple, it'll dry out, but you can also have redness, irritation, peeling, and then it burns a little area in your skin that lasts so much longer than a regular pimple treatment.
doesn't the burn feel good?
Information kind of dawn over Debbie. Doesn't it like she's like,
It's not going to scar, is it?
No,
Because it's been there now,
no,
like, is it going to go away?
Yeah, so someone with more olive tone skin, I would actually worry about it irritating and causing discoloration.
Oh my goodness.
But I think you'll be okay. So
Thank you, Dr. Batra.
yeah, so that one is an old wives' tale. Definitely use if you want a more traditional remedy for your pimples. I really like dilute tea tree oil, or you can even take a chamomile tea bag, steep it, let it cool, and then that has anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties too. So if you are looking for something around the house other than good old benzoyl peroxide or sal acid, which is what's in regular pimple treatments, you do have some other options.
Okay, what about honey for healing wounds?
Okay, so what do you guys think? Debbie, since you raised the question, what do you think?
I think 1,000% yes, because my husband, who is a former Army Ranger, says that the military uses it.
all right, I mean, I would have to stay, again, no. That sounds a little weird to me. I mean, I'm just saying, it doesn't.
I'm going to say no, too.
Okay.
I know local honey is supposed to be good if you, like, eat it because it helps with allergies or something because it's local from the bees, but I don't think it would heal a wound.
I've heard that like Manuka honey, like certain honeys are the honeys, like not just like the honey you put in your tea, but certain honeys. So I say yes.
So you say
And
yes.
complicated,
So
is what we're
evenly
saying.
split
we can't just give a yes or no, evenly split.
Two.
And I will tell you, this is actually true.
Aha.
So your
John knew.
husband
Military's
is
on site.
correct, and
He
you
put it in our
are
emergency
absolutely
kits.
correct.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's a
So
good sign. Jeez.
So a couple things about honey. It has been used for literally centuries. It has a tremendous antibacterial property. And of all the types of honey, Manuka honey, which comes from Australia and New Zealand, actually has a much higher concentration of antibacterial properties, which is why it's so effective for wounds. So it also may have some properties of drawing oxygen to the wound because it is acidic. So there are other aspects that we think may expedite wound healing, but primarily we talk about honey as a really effective antibacterial, fine on surgical as well as abrasive wounds, but we always talk about try not to grab that crusty old bear bottle from the pantry. If you are using honey on your wound, make sure it's clean. Ideally, medical grade honey has actually been sterilized, but if you are going to do this at home, just make sure it's a clean, fresh bottle. They do have medical grade honey.
I mean,
They do
when
in hospitals.
John put it in our emergency kits all over the place, and I said, if we're in an emergency, I want to have tea. Why did you put this in here?
I'm only
I'm
buying,
going to be stressed out. I don't want tea at that moment.
only buying medical grade honey from now on, whether I'm eating it or not. Okay, let's go to number 3. Here's one that, you know, shaving makes your hair grow thicker.
Yes.
And I'm going to say, out of personal experience, I'm going to have to say yes, because it feels like it does.
Okay, so this is your first yes. Debbie,
I
what do
think
you
so
think?
as well.
You think so too?
I think that's true.
I'm going to say no.
Allie?
I'm 0 for 0.
I say no.
Okay. So again, sort of interesting split here, but the truth is it does not make your hair grow back thicker. And interestingly, until I was a dermatologist, I believed this too.
Yeah, but it
And
feels like it does.
feels that way. And so the reason is when you shave, you're actually cutting off the hair. Remember, when hair grows, it tapers to a very fine point. When you cut it close to the skin, you're actually cutting it at the thickest part of the follicle. And as it grows out with that blunt tip, it feels thicker and more stubbly. So sometimes hair feels thicker and more coarse 2 days after you shave as compared to 2 weeks. Once you have that beard, it often feels a little softer and finer.
Yes, that's true.
So completely debunked. There's no science that shaving actually makes your hair coarser or darker, which is what I always hear
really
from
quick,
people.
1 for 3. You were 2 for 3.
2 for 3?
I think so, yeah.
I got one right.
Okay, you're all right. You're amazing. Thank you so
Dr.
much,
Batra.
Doctor.
Thank
you.
Always lovely
Thank
to
you
hear.
so much
For more
for having
information,
me.
head over to
Talk to you
hallmarkchannel.com and connect with Dr. Batra. Go ahead and visit her social media at Dr. Sonia Batra.